Psalm 69:28 reads, "Let them be blotted out of the book of living. Let them not be enrolled among the righteous." The verse expresses a desire for certain individuals to be removed from the list of the living and not be counted among the righteous. It is part of a larger section in Psalm 69 where the speaker is calling for the divine intervention against his enemies. Here is a breakdown. Let them be blotted out of the book of living. This refers to the symbolic book of life, which in its ancient times was a register of citizens of those belonging to a particular community or covenant. To be blotted out is to be removed from the list, suggesting death or exclusion from God's favor. Let them not be enrolled among the righteous. This emphasizes the desire for these individuals to be excluded from the category of those who are considered righteous or favored by God. The context of Psalm 69 is the imperatory psalm, meaning it includes prayers of divine judgment and vengeance against enemies. The speaker is in the distress and feels surrounded by the enemies who are persecuting him. He calls upon the God to act against them and to bring out their downfall. The interpretation. While the verse expresses a harsh sentiment, it's important to consider it within the context of the psalm and the historic and cultural background. Some of the interpretation focus on the ideal of God's justice and the consequences of rejecting Him, while others see it as a reflection of the speaker's intense suffering and desire for deliverance. It's also interpreted by some as a foreshadowing the suffering of Christ and the consequences for those who reject Him. This is by the Bethany Bible Church. In summary, Psalm 69:28 is a prayer for divine judgment against enemies, expressing the desire for their removal from the book of the living and their exclusion from the righteous. It is part of a larger section of Psalm that reflects on the speaker's distress, calls for God's intervention.